Halloween, the one night where the line between fun and fear blurs. But what if for some, Halloween went from spooky fun to real-life horror? I'm talking about true, terrifying events, murders and mysteries that actually happened on Halloween night. Stories that still haunt the families and communities that lived through them. Tonight, we're diving into 5 of these bone-chilling tales that prove, sometimes, Halloween's darkest scares aren't in haunted houses. They're right outside your door. Trust me, you won't want to miss a second of this. Hey everyone, welcome back to Carnival TV. Halloween's meant to be a night of spooky fun, right? But tonight, we're going somewhere darker. A place where Halloween turns from pretend scares to real-life nightmares. These are true stories of Halloween night murders that left deep scars on families and communities. Memories that still haunt people to this day. Ready to find out what happened when Halloween night brought out the real horror? Story number 1. The trick-or-treat murder of Karl Jackson. Halloween night, 1998, the Bronx, New York City. Karl Jackson, a young 21-year-old data entry clerk, was just spending a night out with his girlfriend. They'd visited her family, had a nice evening, everything was just normal. But as they were about to leave, a group of kids thought it'd be funny to throw an egg at their car. Just a prank, right? But Karl wasn't one to let things slide. He stepped out, probably just planning to say, "Come on, don't do that." But it turned dark real quick. One of those teenagers took things way beyond a prank. He came back, this time with a gun. And in an instant, Halloween night turned tragic. Karl was shot right there in front of his girlfriend, all over an egg. Since then, every Halloween, Karl's mom receives a card with just 2 words, "Thinking of you." No return address, no explanation. Just a haunting reminder of the night her son lost his life over something so pointless. For her, Halloween isn't about costumes and candy. It's a night she dreads every year. Story number 2, the Candyman, Ronald Clark O'Bryan. This next story is why we all get that little feeling in the back of our heads, wondering about Halloween candy. It was 1974 in Pasadena, Texas. Ronald was drowning in debt, the kind of financial mess that makes you desperate. And he thought up a plan, a horrifying plan. He took out a life insurance policy on his 2 kids. And on Halloween night, he decided it was time to cash in. He handed his son, Timothy, a pixie sticks. Only, it wasn't just sugar inside. He'd laced it with cyanide. Within minutes, Timothy was violently sick. His parents rushed him to the hospital, but it was too late. This poor kid didn't stand a chance against his own father's greed. Ronald tried to play it off, blaming a mysterious stranger, but soon the truth came out. He was sentenced to death, and in 1984, he was executed. That one act changed Halloween forever. Now, thanks to Ronald, parents everywhere inspect every piece of candy, and that's his legacy. A reminder that even on Halloween, the real monsters might be closer than we think. Story number 3, the disappearance of Cindy Song. This next story isn't just creepy. It's an unsolved mystery. Cindy Song, a 21-year-old Penn State student, went out with friends on Halloween in 2001. She was dressed as a bunny. They had a great time, dancing, laughing, making memories, and it would be her last Halloween. Cindy got a ride home that night, was dropped off safely, and from that moment, she disappeared. Her purse, phone, and keys were left in her apartment, as if she just walked in and vanished. No signs of a struggle, no clues left behind. Rumors ran wild. Some say she met a stranger, others suspect a serial killer. Cindy's family held on to hope for years, but as time passed, her case went cold. Now, every Halloween, they were left with the same question. What really happened to Cindy? She went out for a night of fun and was swallowed by the unknown. And 2 decades later, the mystery remains. Story number 4, the Halloween killer of Napa Valley. This next story, it happened in the kind of place you'd never expect. Halloween night, 2004, Napa Valley, California. A town known for its vineyards, peace, and beautiful scenery. People go there to relax, to feel safe. But on that Halloween night, 3 friends, Adriana Insogna, Leslie Mazzara, and Lauren Mayanza, decided to stay in and skip the parties. They thought they'd be safe at home, sharing laughs and stories in their cozy little house, as quiet as the countryside itself. But after midnight, their night took a horrifying turn. Lauren was the first to hear it, footsteps creeping around downstairs. At first, maybe she thought it was just her mind playing tricks on her, or maybe a stray animal outside. But then came the sounds no one ever wants to hear. The unmistakable struggle, her friends fighting for their lives just rooms away. Heart pounding, Lauren managed to escape, running to a neighbor's house to call for help. By the time the police arrived, it was too late. Adriani and Leslie had been brutally attacked, their lives cut short in a place that was supposed to be their sanctuary. The Napa Valley community was shattered. Who could do something so horrifying to these young women? Months passed with no answers, the fear in Napa only growing. Finally, DNA evidence pointed investigators in a shocking direction. Eric Koppel, not a stranger, but a trusted friend, and even the fiancé of one of Adrian and Leslie's close friends. No one could understand why he did it. He'd been welcomed into their circle, into their homes. And then, on Halloween night, he turned into a monster. Napa Valley would never be the same. What had been a quiet town known for its wine became a place haunted by memories of that Halloween night. Let's jump up of our last, but not least, Halloween story. Story number 5, the Los Angeles trick-or-treat murders. Finally, we have a story that sounds straight out of a horror movie. Only, this one's disturbingly real. Halloween night, 1957, Los Angeles. Peter and Betty Thomas had spent their evening passing out candy, watching as kids in costumes filled the streets. As the night slowed down, they finally turned off the porch light and settled in for the evening, believing the last trick-or-treaters had come and gone. Then came a knock at the door. Maybe they thought it was one more late-night trick-or-treater, one last kid wanting candy before the night was over. They opened the door, expecting to see a friendly face. Instead, standing there was a man with a gun, a face Peter and Betty knew all too well. He wasn't there for candy, he was there for revenge. This man, once romantically involved with Betty, couldn't let go. Consumed by jealousy and anger, he'd been stewing over their relationship's end. And that Halloween night, he decided to make his move. He pulled the trigger right there on the porch, leaving Peter and Betty's bodies to be discovered by neighbors and trick-or-treaters who would never forget the horror they found. Imagine being one of those kids walking up to a house expecting candy, only to find something straight out of a nightmare. The entire neighborhood was shaken, their Halloween tainted by a crime they couldn't have imagined. For years, whispers of the trick-or-treat murders echoed in Los Angeles, a chilling reminder that sometimes the real terror isn't in masks or costumes, it's what hides behind the faces we think we know. 5 Halloween nights, each with a terrifying twist that families will never forget. Thanks for sticking with us through these chilling stories. If you want more real-life horror and mysterious cases just like these, hit that subscribe button and join our community of true crime fans. And don't forget to like this video if it gave you chills.